Hey everybody, it's Andy aka Max Writer. We are back with another author showcase. This time we are looking at The Posse, which was written for The Last Valley. The Last Valley, if you remember, was our second Miskatonic University submission or publication, whatever you want to call it. And it was very short, it was very to the point, it didn't have a real backstory. The Posse basically takes one of those hooks from The Last Valley, fleshes it out, adds another half dozen pre-gens, and sends them off into this terrible, terrible place. Now, the hook for this one really is that you are part of a posse. The 1110 to Santaquin has been robbed by the Boyd gang, and you can join the posse. If you've got a gun and a horse, you can join the posse, and you can head off into the wilds of Utah in 1875, and you can hunt them down, only to find that there's something awful out there. And the something awful is dinosaurs. So, of course, because again, this is The Last Valley, kind of reskinned and added to. It also isn't complete. The Last Valley had a map of Utah. The Last Valley had information on the surrounding towns in that area. And the Posse is only $1 on DriveThruRPG because you really need The Last Valley in order to effectively play it. So on the back cover we have, our cover image was The Great Train Robbery by N.C. Wyeth, which was done in 1912, and I think it was very cool, very dynamic. I was very happy to find that. Some other Call of Cthulhu scenarios. Here we've got our legal stuff, copyright, Chaosium things. Then we're on to a couple quotes. H.P. Lovecraft, of course, and here are my playtesters. The table of contents for this is relatively short because it's only 34 pages. So we had to add some art. That really actually came out pretty well. I'm kind of happy with that. The foreword talks about train robberies, a little bit of a history of the train robbery. And when we talk about train robberies, we're not talking about robberies of a train sitting at a station or in a yard. These are robberies of trains that are on the tracks and on the move, and that's kind of what this is about. Our introduction again, we've got our alternate title, The Man Who Shot Tyrannosaurus, which is a play on The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. It's not a good play, but it's a play. Our introduction is, of course, a teaser for your players. Here's some talking about whether this should be a sequel or a standalone. In my own campaign, this was a sequel and took place, I think, about a month after my original players went through The Last Valley. Our keeper information, which talks about both the Boyd brothers and mainly about the Boyd gang and what they've done and this robbery of the train. Little player information for why they're there. Possibly, what is this? Oh yeah, that your characters should have a horse and at least a pistol if they want to join a posse. A little more information on the Boyd gang and how your characters can know about that, and then very short about adapting the scenario to present day mainly, or 1920s. The scenario proper starts with the posse being formed and heading out to the Smith farm where they find the person who's dead. And then we go to each day that the posse is chasing the Boyd gang and slowly catching up, even if they can't see them. Strange things start happening on the third day, and on the fourth day they actually reach the Last Valley. Now, a lot of the things that happen in this are very similar to the original The Last Valley, so it probably works better for different groups to play as opposed to just running it running The Last Valley and then running this for the same group, unless there's some time in between. We've got the original, and it refers back to a few of the original areas from The Last Valley, and adds a few things. Hearing gunfire as the Boyd brothers are fighting off some dinosaurs, running into the fog once again. And in this case, the velociraptors attacking before the pteranodons, although eventually we've got pteranodons attacking as well. When the investigators reach the stone time gate, the Boyd brothers are there because one of them has fallen through into the past. And unfortunately, coming out shortly after the gunfight that will inevitably ensue is a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Now, this scenario actually goes into a little bit more detail on the city of Xeris, the ancient serpent person city from 225 million years ago. We're talking a little bit more about the Tyrannosaurus Rex. There are really no sanity awards for the scenario. You can get some money, and I should have probably put in here, and I didn't think to do it. Something about the potential of raising your credit rating if you get enough money. Afterwards, playtest notes. It was a very short scenario. Then we're into non-player characters with the Boyd brothers. There's 3 of them. A deputy marshal who will be part of the posse. The Santa Quinn marshal who's part of the posse. And then we've got 3 average posse members, 3 bandits who are part of the Boyd gang who may or may not be encountered, most likely not. And then your average horse, because when these dinosaurs start attacking, the horses are going to have some issues and are probably going to take some damage. Oop, having a little trouble flipping the page. We also have a map of the city of Xeres. This shows major streets, roads, and walls of the city that is destroyed before the Supermen can escape it. That was kind of fun to make. We got some NPC pictures, our pre-gen pictures, and now these pre-gens are actually the characters that were played by the players. Now in my own game, I had 5 players: Emmett Cooley, the Teamster; Doc Mercy, who was a doctor; Caleb Dempsey, an Undertaker; Seamus Dillinger, a gambler; and Hoki, a native scout. Emmett Cooley unfortunately died in our first game session. Towards the end, the Tyrannosaurus ate him. So that player created Azariah Titus Reeves, who is a paleontologist. Paleontology was a big thing back in the 1870s. As a matter of fact, 1875 was also the year of the Bone Wars between a couple of very prominent paleontologists in Colorado. So he justified Azariah being in Utah as he was trying to get away from them. I mean, there was some... Look up the Bone Wars. You'll find out. So he ended up coming in, and that became very interesting as they went into the city of Xeres. So we've got our 6 pre-gen characters, most of whom are actually pretty good with either a rifle or a pistol, because I advised them to make their characters that way. And I pulled these... The pictures are different, obviously, but I pulled for as much as I could from their characters and Azariah. And then we've got a little about the author here in the back, and the back page, which gives us our little blurbs and that kind of thing. So there it is. There's the posse. Yeah. So thanks for watching, everybody. As always, I appreciate it, and I will talk to y'all next time.